Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be talking about the 101 Dalmatians movie. Now the 101 Dalmatian movie starts off with Pongo, that's the dog, narrating how he wishes he could find his pet Roger, that's his owner, Roger, a mate to settle down with, so he can find a mate for himself. But him being a bachelor and a piano player, there is not much mate searching in his category. So Pongo talks to us, and he looks outside, and then he looks at all different of ages of girls, and he says, too old, too young. And then he takes a look at Berdita and Purdy. So he decides, I would never find another pair like that, not even if I looked 100 years. So he fixes the clock so it's 12 o'clock. So it's time for Pongo to take a walk to the park. And then Pongo feels like he must have missed them because he's looking all over the park and he doesn't see them. But finally he spots them. And then Pongo says, oh boy, how would this work? I will do all the work, but I know what Roger will do. He will sit there and puff his pipe, and that'll be it. It's all up to me, Pongo says. So he walks straight by Anita and Purdy, and Anita and Purdy see the dog, and they see Roger because they're walking straight in a line, so they see each other. But that didn't seem to work either, because once they saw each other, Berdita just continued reading her book, and Purdy, she saw him. I know she was looking because she saw him, but when she saw Pongo look back at her, she just went back of just sitting quietly looking at birds or whatever. So Pongo decides, it is time for me to stir stuff up a bit. So he grabs Roger's hat and he begins to play with him. And then Roger just starts getting annoyed and says, come on, we're going home. But Pongo's not giving up. So he goes straight for Anita, and then Anita bumps into Roger, and then they end up Pongo ends up tying Roger and Anita together, and Purdy ends up meeting Pongo, and Purdy and Pongo hit it off very well, but for Anita and Roger, they fall in the water, and then when Roger tries to help her, Roger says, "Here, take just here, take my hat and take a tissue because you look like you've been crying." So when he pulls it out of his pocket, it's soaking wet, and then they both start laughing. And then in the next scene, they get married. Now, I don't know if that's the same day, but that is one cute meet cute, if you ask me. So we cut off to Roger and Anita living together with their housekeeper nanny, and everything is going great because Roger is a songwriter, as I mentioned to you, and they are enjoying their sweet little life, having tea, like there's tea time, and there is Roger's music studio, and, well, not music studio, attic, where he played his music in silence to not bother Anita. Oh, and they also have a piano downstairs. Keep this in mind because they're the point of this. So anyway, Cruella, Anita's old schoolmate comes and visits. Oh, and by the way, I did do a video on the Cruella movie. You guys may want to check that out before you check out this one, but it's your choice. But I did do a video on the Cruella movie. So Anita gets a visit from her old classmate, Cruella DeVille, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but Purdy and Pongo are having puppies. So when she heard about this, but I'm not sure when, because she comes busting into the house saying, "Heaven's sakes, where are they? Where are they?" And then and then and and then and 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 then and then Anita says who? And then Cruella says the puppies. But Anita tells her that the puppies won't be here in a couple more months. And then, but before that happens, Roger makes this quick song up called Cruella DeVille. And it becomes so catchy. He makes it up and it's so funny because he be playing it on the piano, the trombone, like Cruella DeVille. So anyway, when Cruella, when 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 Cruella when Cruella heard that Anita Anita so when she hears that Anita's dog Purdy is having puppies, she says, "You will let me know soon, will you, dear?" And then and then Anita says, "Yes, I will." But Anita, girl, aren't you realizing some red flags? Because she came up in there with a fur coat, and Anita asked her, "Cruella, is that a new fur coat?" And then Cruella says, "Yes, you know I love fur coats. I worship furs." And then and then and then and then Anita says, "Oh yes, fur coats are nice, but there are a lot more other things to be glad about." And then Cruella just ends up making fun of her house, like you in this little house, but I know that this is your dream castle, and I know you have your Beethoven over there. I'm like, Cruella, you're insulting the good nature of her home. Stop. So anyway, Anita agrees to let her know when the puppies arrive, but although I'm like, Anita, do not tell your old school friend that the puppies have arrived, because of the way she looked at them, like they will make some good coats. Like you can automatically see she's just saying, yeah, can't wait to see those puppies, because they will make some good coats, like automatically. And like in yeah, and although Roger Roger and Pongo just don't like it right off the bat, and they have a right to, and I will tell you guys why when I get further into this video. So anyway, Purdy is back there crying, saying, "Oh my gosh, Pongo, I, I, I was so happy that we're having puppies, but now, since Cruella's after them, I just wish we weren't having any." And then she starts to cry, but a week goes by and then the puppies arrive. And then it seems like when it and then it seems like and then it seems like one of them didn't make it. But Robert but Roger pets on one of the puppies, and it turned out that the puppy's fine. And they end up having 15 puppies altogether. And then Cruella comes, and then Cruella says, "When can the puppies leave their mother? 4 weeks? 3 weeks?" And then Roger says, "Never, we're not selling the puppies, and you're not getting either one." And then Cruella has the nerve to say, "How will you afford to keep them?" And then and 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 and, 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 and then Anita says, "Oh, I'm sure we will figure out something." And then Roger says, "That is final. We're not selling the puppies." And and um and when she first sees the puppies, she doesn't like it because they don't have spots. So, without them having spots, she can't have her coat. So, she calls the puppy a white rat. But Anita says but Anita says that the spots will come in a few weeks. And so that's when Cruella gets the idea to take them from Anita. But Roger says, "No, we're not selling the puppies, not either one." And then this is when Cruella gets mad and says, "Fine, keep the little beast for all I care. drown them. But I warn you, Anita, we're through. And just wait, you'll be sorry, you fools. And then Cruella slams the door. But before this, she did try to write them a check, but Roger stood his ground, and so she left mad. And she slammed the door. But keep this in mind. Just wait, you'll be sorry, she said. Keep that in mind. So a few years passed. The puppy had their spots now, and they are all watching TV in the living room. After dinner. And then it is time for Purdy and Pongo to take their walk in the park. So they put all 15 puppies to bed. And then Horace and Jasper show up, Cruella's main guards of tag teams. Now, in the movie, they actually showed how they met, and I really do respect the fact that they showed how they met in the first place. I really do respect the Cruella origin story because it just makes so much sense. So anyway, so Horace and Jasper make up this lie to the housekeeper that they are an electric company. But the housekeeper isn't having anything of that. She says, you're not coming in here, not with the Mrs. and the Mr. gone. So Horace just pushes the door on her. And he goes upstairs and and um and the housekeeper is trying to fight. No. Not fight. She is trying to get them to leave by saying, get out of this house before I call the police. And they end up locking her in the closet, stealing the puppies, and then they're gone. And then when the housekeeper gets out of the closet, it turns out that they stole the puppies. So the puppies are gone, and Anita is sad, but Pongo says, Purdy, there's still hope, the Twilight Bark. So they contact the Twilight Bark, and Sergeant Tibbs, the cat that worked for the Colonel, who was a horse, he goes to the DeVille place, gets all hundreds, well, I say 101 puppies out of the DeVille place by using this tiny little holes. And then Pongo and Purdy gets help as well from the great gang who lead them to the DeVille place, and and they get their puppies back, and they end up sleeping in a farm. I mean, they got a whole Twilight Bark rescue mission going up in here. All right, they end up resting in a farm because the Great Dane put word out that they needed help. You can count on that Twilight Bark in this movie. I mean, there was even this little puppy who was sending out the signal. You can count on the Twilight Bark in this movie, alright? So they end up sleeping at the farm, and they end up getting some food before they go because because the dog that's in the farm ends up giving them scraps, and it's just so nice. Like, this is a nice community to help them get back to London. This is so nice. And then there is this Labrador dog that gets them transportation. But Pongo has to think, because if they go out there, because if they go out there, Pongo and Purdy will be seen by Cruella and Jasper, because Cruella and Jasper and Horace are still on their trail. Even though Pongo wiped away some of the tracks, he didn't wipe away all of them, but he did confuse them. So they took two different roads. So they end up disguising themselves as Labradogs by rolling in this soot. So when they end up rolling in the soot, they end up getting in the truck, but one of the puppies got left behind. But don't worry, Pongo got the puppy. Pongo has got the puppy, you guys. Pongo gets the puppy, and all the soot comes off of this puppy. But Pongo says, forget about it, run for it. So the Labrador helps the last puppy and Purdy onto the truck along with Pongo, and then Cruella catches up to the truck and she goes crashing into the truck, and then the guy who is driving the truck says, watch it, lady. Crazy woman driver. And so they end up getting away, going home, and Roger ends up writing a new song about how they have so many puppies. And that is the end of the 101 Dalmatians. Bye, and I will see you guys in my next video.